Okay, so today I am going to be talking to you about the MSc in Psychology conversion program at Dublin City University. So just to begin with, what is a conversion program? Well, a conversion program is typically a fast track route for graduates in one discipline to enter another entirely new discipline. And the UK model for graduate conversion in psychology is at level 9 or master's level. And our program mimics that model. So, but what is a conversion program? It's a progression option basically for graduates from another discipline who wish to change career direction into psychology. And there's a clear strength. What we've seen throughout the years is individuals coming from a range of very different programs um, is a really fantastic benefit in the mutual learning and experience. But the conversion program is all about pre-professional training in psychology, and as a springboard for further professional training, which would happen afterwards. Um, so, what is psychology? Psychology is the scientific study of human mind and behavior. And it really is all about how we think, how we act in the social world, how we react to things, um, and how we interact both individually and as groups. And the MSc in Psychology conversion program at DCU is a level 9 award. It's a qualification that is accredited by the Psychological Society of Ireland as a first qualification in psychology. It is a 1 calendar year full-time program, meaning that it starts in September and continues uh, beyond the typical finish in May through to the summer period. It has 90 ECTS credits associated with it. Um, it also covers the core pillar areas in psychology that are recognised by the Psychological Society of Ireland as integral for a first-time qualification in psychology. And we return to that in a moment. But we also have a small intake, an intake of about 20 students per year by the recommendations of the PSI. So it's quite a small class, and as such, the the class gets to know each other very well. So what will you learn and do with us? So amongst other things, you'll complete an advanced research project in psychology, cover the core PSI pillars, and have elective choice uh, of of one module. So just to dive into the content of the program, these are the pillar areas in psychology recognized by the Psychological Society of Ireland. So first of all, on the left, we have the lifespan or developmental stream, which is all about the child's development, all the developmental stages, those leaps in kind of cognitive language development, etc., that happen in the early child years, and also looking at developmental stages, how we change and how our brains, our thinking, and our interactions with others change over the course of our lifespan. So that's the lifespan approach. Cognitive psychology is all about how we think and our memory, how that is used in day-to-day life decision making and problem solving. The biological strand of psychology is all about the brain and understanding the brain's influence on behavior in particular. The individual difference strand is very much focused on personality, personality differences, and also psychological health and well-being. And then social psychology is all about how we interact with others in our social world. And all of these five kind of core areas are capped off with research literacy in psychology. So understanding how research is conducted across all of these different areas in psychology. So just to have a quick look at the program structure. So this is the structure of the first semester, which would be September through to December. And what you'll see here is that there are 6 modules, and also in the background a research project module, which is actually a year-long module. It starts in the background in the first semester and continues right through to the end of the summer period. So what you have is, you can see Psych 501 to Psych 505 are literally map onto those 5 areas in psychology that I mentioned already. And then and all of those, they have an asterisk beside them. Those modules are in the first semester co-taught with the undergraduate program. So there's a great mix of understanding and learning going on between the master's program and the undergraduates in those particular modules for the lecture component. Then within there's a bespoke research skills module as well, which is a year-long module, and that's delivered just to the MSc conversion group. So then in the second semester, there's a range of then more advanced and kind of more applied areas within psychology. So you have clinical and experimental neuropsychology, for instance, which would take the biological element and apply it to kind of the hospital and clinical setting, what it looks like. The individual difference module looks at psychological measurement and assessment. So taking that psychological health and difficulties and disorders module from the first semester and looking at it in a bit more detail. And social cognitive brings the social and cognitive strands together. So these modules are really building on those core modules in the first semester, and the research skills and research project module continues through. There's also an optional module, and these are the optionals that we currently offer. There's crime and psychology, psychology of self-control, and the counselling and psychology elective modules. And they're often very helpful for individuals who have an idea of what they want to maybe specialize in afterwards. So crime and psychology, often if somebody had a view to forensic psychology or counseling, for those interested in counseling or clinical psychology. And then there is a so-called third semester, which takes place in the summer period, which is really all about the sort of finalizing and finishing off that research project that had begun in this first semester, but which continues through the summer period. So throughout these modules, there's a real range of different skills that our graduates come out with, including visual and written communication skills. There's a range of very few exams actually on the program. I think there's only 2 modules where exams take place. So there's a real rich variety of different types of assessments, which give a good grounding in this range of different transferable skills for other professions. And just on the subject, where can you go from here? So an MSc Psychology Conversion equips you with a skill set that's appropriate to successful, sustainable, and rewarding career in a diverse range of professions. So psychology graduates, some of the most sought after. Many go on to further study, and many of our alumni have specialized further in psychology, be it in research psychology with a PhD, clinical and counseling areas, educational psychology, or occupational psychology, and indeed forensic psychology. But psychology graduates are also found in a range of diverse employment fields in both the public and private sector. So that includes in human resources and a range of other areas as well. So is psychology for you? Yes, I think psychology, if you have an inquiring mind, interested in understanding human behavior and the mind, like the challenge and rewards of an in-depth study of one subject and have the ability to question in a critical way, then we would say yes. Um, and just, I suppose, the slight technical things just to note is because this is a one-year conversion program, there are some additional requirements that we have in terms of the eligibility for the program. So typically, an applicant should hold a H2-1 honours degree at level 8 or above, should have accrued up to 60 European Credit Transfer System credits in either psychology or research methods. So that's either in combination or for one, which is equivalent to about a year of full-time study in psychology or research modules. That's it. That's often the case. We'll have people coming from, an education background or human resources or some other area where they may have conducted, a final year project and some research modules which would add up towards those credits. And just to say that the closing date for applications this year is this coming Friday, the 24th of March. So just if you have, I suppose, any queries in relation to either the eligibility or applications for the program, to really get in touch with me as soon as possible. And I'm also happy to answer any questions.